And we're back. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us once again on Folkwise. It's a Tuesday and we're live. If you're watching this on YouTube, hello. We're posting.
We're not live.
We're recorded, but we were live. We swear.
Yeah.
And we are here with Sally Vanderwater with the what did they say earlier? The immaculate Sally Vanderwater.
Incorrigible?
Not
Incomparable?
incomparable. Incorrigible. Jeez, Daisy.
Sorry, there's a
No,
lot of ways you could take that. I just knew the word started with an R and it was long.
I stand by incorrigible.
Death Laura said, Sally!
Most people could put up with me. Hi, Death Laura.
So, Sally, we're going to get to ask you some questions, but first... Presumably. But first, Daisy's got to do something to kick off the interview. You cool with Daisy kicking off the interview?
Of course, naturally. I'm in y'all's capable hands. So.
It's very important. Well, you'll appreciate this, hopefully. If not, don't tell me. But I hope that you appreciate it.
If not,
if not, don't tell me.
Folks watching at home, the beloved members of the Academy, Folkwise, among YouTube, wherever you're watching it. Yeah, the Academy is what we call you all. The audience who is watching us synchronously tonight, and also maybe asynchronously on YouTube. So if you've watched the show before, you probably know how this goes, but I am here to remind you all of the very important fact that you may see Dom, Daisy, you see the two of us and you think that this show is like a thing that we do, and you'd be right, but not entirely. You'd be missing a huge element of the thing that we do, which involves a bunch of people who are not seen on this show that we affectionately and lovingly call the sleuthing team. So if the sleuthing team kind of gathers around, we meet and curate questions for every guest that appears on the show. So if you hear a question that you like, Sally laughs. Sally, if you ever hear a question you like, whatever, don't thank Daisy and Dom. Thank the sleuthing team of Folkwise. They are wonderful, incorrigible.
Of course we do.
Yeah.
Can I just say I love that you have a sleuthing team. It speaks to community, if nothing else, because you're probably not paying them much, but it speaks to community and love and also who doesn't love a good mystery? I love that whole, I love the word sleuth.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt, but
you are the mystery this week. You are the
mystery this week, and sometimes we have guest sleuths, and we have a core kind of team, and every once in a while, it's nice to reach out and ask the kind of extended community network of Folkwise. It's really true. Like, we kind of all get together and put our brains together to make coherent and useful questions for both you, but also our audience who's listening at home. So
brilliant. I love it.
Don't thank me and Dom. It's the sleuthing team.
Well, thank you to all of you. Thank you to the sleuthing team. It's amazing.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I want to call upon your services. Also, fun fact, I was in high school. I received one vote for the most mysterious in my high school graduating class.
Oh my goodness.
You can all guess which vote I won. That can be later in the we can take questions from the audience.
Tell us. I'm not. We can always do chat questions. So in addition to that, of course, just as a reminder to everybody, at any point you have a question, we save them all during the interview for you, as long as they're like not troll questions. Those we just say because they're funny. Right. But if they're like real questions,
but if you have a question,
if
you have a question for Sally, put it in chat and we will read it to her. Yep.
Yes, we will.
Cool.
So we have time for that. Are you ready to get into it?
Let's get into it. I'm going to pull that chat back up again. Here we go.
Okay.
I love it. I don't know what that ladder picture means, but
everything is ladders, Sally. Everything is ladders. A ladder, Sally, if you as a guest see a ladder picture, hear that in your head as a round of applause.
As a round of applause or like a cheer.
If the guest sees ladders, that means they're cheering for you. Yeah.
Yeah. Someone's going like, yay. Yeah.
Thanks, Death Laura.
Absolutely.
Thanks, everybody. Ladders to you. If I was logged in, I would say ladders to you for being sleuths and for being questions.
Sleuths, you already have ladders.
Yeah. Aw, so cute.
More from me.
So let's get into your first question, which is, in what ways does being a folklorist allow you to, quote, color outside the lines?
So I love that. I wonder, this might be one of my favorite things that in a lifetime of memorable things my father has said to me and conversations we've had. My father, not so long ago, we were talking about coloring in the lines and outside the lines, and I kind of, stared off into the middle distance and said, I always really had trouble coloring in the lines. And that really, like, actually, truly, sidebar, that really kind of bothered me in first grade. Like, I spelled the word friend wrong on the first grade spelling test. That stayed with me. Why? But I had a hard time. Like, there were other kids who could color in really solid dark colors with their crayons on the coloring sheet, and it stayed in the line perfectly. And I was a little bit jealous. Like, wow, how can they do that? I can't do that. Anyway, so I was like, I always had trouble coloring in the lines, staying within the lines. And my dad just looked at me and said, Sally, you live your life outside the lines. And I thought that was the greatest compliment. And I love that so much. And maybe not everybody would like to hear that about themselves, but I love it. And, I always wanted an interesting and varied life, and I think I've gotten it, for sure. So how does being a folklorist? So, obviously being a folklorist, everybody who's a folklorist knows that you get to meet the most interesting people. You get to spend time with them and ask them questions and learn about them. And, sometimes when you're lucky, your job gives you a reason to ask them more questions about the thing that they want to talk about. Like, tell me how you made that, or why do you do that, or where did you learn that, or, all those questions. Right. And it's just, I've had the most amazing experiences, many of which are flying out of my head right now, but I've just gotten to see people making and doing really amazing stuff that I would have never gotten to experience had I not been a folklorist. I probably would know nothing about Hmong embroidery, or I would not know about the different kinds of weaving that I know about. You know what I mean? I wouldn't, I wouldn't know really about Zydeco probably if I wasn't a folklorist. And so, yeah, you get to be curious about stuff in a professional context, which I'm sure you can do in lots of fields, but it's really essential as a folklorist, and that's just really so much fun. So that's the sort of short answer, I guess.
No, that's good, because we have a term of endearment we use for folklorists, for the non-folklorists who still have a very strong interest in folklore, who hang out in our chat. We call them all enthusiasm enthusiasts, and I feel like that's what you're describing.
Yeah. You get to be excited about stuff people do, and sometimes you get to try it when people, and people are gracious, and sometimes you decide that you really like doing that thing and you want to keep doing it, which also can happen. So yeah, enthusiasm enthusiasts, exactly. That's a great term.
Yeah, I like your metaphor or kind of moment of the color outside the lines too, because it lets you think about different ways to problem solve with and around creative expressions. There's a way to do it. You could color in the lines, or you could break them and explore all the other overwhelming potentials that are not clear from just the image with a line on the page, right? And I feel like
correct, yeah, and color outside the line completely.
Yeah,
we're in the negative space, and and we all know art forms that translates directly to, whether it's carving or
lace making,
iconography, or lace making, or any of these things, right? It's how you create the space and what you do with it, how you explore it, I guess. Yeah.
That was a great answer and a great way to kick this off. So I think let's keep going. Let's move confidently into the next one. No, it was enthusiasmized. Sally, it's been over 10 years. It's been a little more than 10 years since you co-organized the workshop on leadership, succession, and transition in public sector folklore. In the decade that followed,
2013.
2013, yes. Yeah. In the decade that followed, how have you seen folklorists work collaboratively with partners outside the field to make an impact on communities we work with?
I love that. That's a great question. That's really interesting. Well done, sleuths. Well done. That was a really good time. I loved organizing those meetings and taking those notes and working on those. Yeah, that was great. Good times. And shout out to Selena Morales and Mal O'Connor that I was lucky enough to get to work with to make those happen. Yeah, but it's fun. I learned a lot at time, not just about the field, but I think about myself and the way I process information and the way I respond to information too. As a side note, sorry, but so to answer your question again, because my brain goes in all the directions at once, often because it's a pinball machine. I have loved the way that I've seen, especially in public folklore. And I've not always gotten to see it up close and personal, but I've often heard about it or read about it or whatever. I love that that folklorists are breaking that fourth wall or breaking through the lines, as you were, to continue that metaphor, to bring in their collaborators into spaces that had heretofore been only folklorists. Like, I love the work that the National Assembly of State Arts Agencies has every other year. They have the folklorists, the folk arts coordinators gathering, and I know last time I think they had a lot of folks who were not necessarily state folklorists who were there, but people from collaborating organizations or who were collaborating artists who were very invested in that very similar work. And it's really important that we talk to people who aren't just like us, or who aren't in similar jobs to us, who aren't funded like us, and I say, us being now back to the writ large folklorist, right? And it's really important that we take our collaborators and partners into the spaces where we're talking about them to when we're controlling that space, give them opportunities to speak for themselves and to represent themselves, right? Because if we're ostensibly doing things for and about people, we need to be including them in the conversation, and doing all that. So that's when I think that's one of the on the kind of structural level. That's one of the things that I'm really excited at seeing. And I'm sure that's like one example, and there's other examples that I'm sure will come to me over the course of time. But I think it's something certainly in terms of the larger questions of that work and those symposia that we had, and the meetings that we had around that white paper. It continues to be an issue, right? It's just sustainability, succession still continues to be an issue, where you have someone who's been longstanding at an institution. How is institutional memory transferred? What is important to keep, and what is okay to say goodbye to, because time has changed and because the world has changed, and of course things have changed dramatically in the last 5 years, but that's not to say that things also haven't been changing in the last 10 or 15 or 20. So it's been a pleasure and a privilege to kind of get to witness all of that and to help move those conversations on when we can. But I think so those are some of the things that I think are some of the issues we were talking about then are still very much issues. Some of them we're figuring out ways to deal with, but I think the most important thing that we're doing is to have a 2-sentence sum up is to say that the way that we're very often trying to work directly with our collaborators in the spaces that had formerly been just folklore spaces, I think is really, really essential and important.
That was an awesome answer. I have a quick follow-up, maybe. Well, maybe Please. Not quick, but I have a follow-up question about
I have a potentially extensive follow-up.
Potentially expensive now that I think about it. But we're curious, what's something that you would add if you were going to do the workshop again now? Like, so you've noticed this change that happens, but like, if you were going to do the whole thing again, like knowing what you know now about the world of public folklore.
That's a great question. You know what? I think I would. Sorry, my chairs are all very noisy. I think I would add the question, what needs to change now? like what needs to like ask, I think, what needs to be radically rethought. And that's not an elegant one word thing, but we hold on to old models because they've worked in the past, and they need to continue, do they not? And I think or what's or an alternate way to think about that, which we did kind of begin to struggle with, was, I think, during those questions and those conversations, kind of what's beyond the state, because a big question then was what's beyond the state funding model. Because it came, that was what, 2013, so that came after the founding of the NEA, then the founding of the state arts, folk arts programs, and people were kind of in that, like, 30 years since the founding of those systems,
right?
People were kind of grappling with the changes that had been brought, and the funding models, and the big money from the NEA, et cetera, wasn't there. How do we keep that? How do we diversify that funding and everything? And I think that's kind of all started to happen in a lot of ways. And it might just be that, well, in some ways, the state folklore programs aren't the only programs happening in a state or in an area. And so some of that has been organic change. But what's beyond the nonprofit? And here's a tangential thought that I've been having lately, which is that when I entered the field, it was absolutely anathema to think or suggest that one would pay an artist for their time being interviewed, because that was like something that journalists not like that, like, and it sounds really awful when I say that way, right? But because it's because there was an idea that, and I apologize to all my mentors if I'm misremembering this, but like I felt like, well, no, but like, and it wasn't, anathema is too strong a word, but it wasn't done. It certainly wasn't.
Yeah, it was
done
unheard of.
by habit. It wasn't done, and it because you weren't because they couldn't be bought or something. I don't know. But there should be benefit, and there should be reciprocity, and there should be, like, not that their time wasn't worth it, because their time was absolutely worth it, and you were grateful for it and all of that. But now, like, if I'm going to interview somebody, my God, I need to pay them. If I'm going to sit down with them and spend time with them or something, or I should find other ways to make them feel like their time has been worth it. You know what I mean? And I get, and that has been consistent, right? Because there's always the respect for the artist, and there's always the artist, the collaborator, the person that you're working with. I've very often worked in public folklore settings where it has the a folk arts focus, right? Apologies for the scare quotes, but so folk arts, so I'll say artist.
No, I get it.
Like, it's funny, in sidebar, in my everyday conversation, if I'm switching my brain between folklore and gym, I'll sometimes refer to athletes as artists, and I'll refer to artists as athletes. Like, if I'm working at a festival event, I'm like, oh, well, the athletes need to do this. I mean, sorry, the athletes.
They're like,
the artists. And then I'll be in the gym, and I'll be like, okay, well, okay, so how many artists do we have at the competition on Saturday? And it's like, so my brain switches. So it's like that. It's like the most honored category. You know what I mean? Like the focus of all the work that you do is either the athletes or the artist and artists. And so anyway, that's a sidebar. But yeah, that's,
I have maybe to say, or a connection that you're making for me through that answer is, like, there is a kind of assumption that journalists, because they are often employed by an institution, that somehow the work of folklorists, which has somehow been around, not in doing it for some other motivation that's not financial, which is a lie, but like those two, like, assumptions of, like, folklorists are doing things with community as volunteer. I mean, also chronically underpaid too in many circumstances assume that like, well, everyone in that space is underpaid. Where somehow like this assumption is not true for journalists or something. There was something like that. I don't think that's the same way anymore, but that's kind of what I'm like pulling at from.
Like, I wonder if that's where that came from.
I don't know. Just wondering.
I don't know. And there's definitely a shift of, I think definitely a shift. I mean, there've been so many shifts in the field, right? And shifts in the way people approach their work and the way that people, might spend all of their off time. Sorry, I think that race card noise is coming from my.
Can't hear it.
You know, your noise gate is so good we can't hear it.
We can't hear anything. Yeah.
Sorry if it's distracting to you.
No, it is sort of, because this mic is crazy good. Thanks, Blue Yeti. Sorry, that product placement is all over the place.
Yeah,
okay,
mine too.
Sponsored by Monster and Yeti.
Mine too. Yeah, if you're listening, Monster, if you're listening.
Monster.
I take back everything I ever said about Bang.
Yeah.
To be read, my new favorite. Sorry. Yeah, but so like, I mean, there's so many shifts in the field. You have a lot more good questions that I should just probably focus on.
Well, you actually queued yourself up with that answer. No. You're ready for a layup on this next one because you queued yourself up perfectly with this for the next question we are going to ask. Speaking of athletes and artists, Sally, if a folklorist were going to go to a weightlifting competition you were emceeing, what would look familiar to them from their knowledge of folk festivals?
Oh my God, what a great question. That's such a fun question. Well, there's an audience. There's a front space and a back space. There is obviously the performance space, which is the competition platform. There's also a quasi-private, it's not a green room, it's not a preparation stage, but it's like the it's almost like, I guess, if you were at a foodways demo and you saw the prep kitchen, if the prep kitchen were only limited access, but there's like the back room, also known as the warm-up room, where athletes are taking their warm-up attempts, right, to prepare to come out for the actual competition. Because in weightlifting, there are two and forgive me if I'm jumping ahead here, but there's or if you have this queued up later, but there are two competitive lifts that you do in the sport of weightlifting. One is the snatch and one is the clean and jerk. And I will say it here officially for the viewing public, I feel like I'm uniquely qualified to say that because I went to women's college and I married a weightlifting coach, snatch jokes are always funny. And I want that on a t-shirt. Thank you.
Oh my God, yes. Somebody you come through with a t-shirt.
I'll wear it. I'll wear it to AFS.
Does it say the whole thing? Because I'm uniquely qualified because I went to a women's college and married a weightlifter.
That would be funnier.
Okay, it's a very tiny text.
In block letters. I see it in block letters, like, all caps, block letters, sans serif. You're welcome.
Helvetica.
Helvetica.
Sure, Helvetica could work. It's fine. I'm also a big fan of Cambria. Anyway. Aesthetics.
I'm a Georgia fan.
No, that's serifs.
That is serifs. Sorry. I do like Georgia. I used to really.
That's my favorite serif.
Yeah, it's my favorite serif too. I think it's just.
I believe we were talking about the snatch.
Sorry, but the snatch. Yes, back to the snatch. So front space, back space. So there's the warm up space where the athletes are warming up, but also So snatch, clean, and jerk, 2 attempts. On the competition stage, as your official point getting, leveling up, attempts, you have 3 attempts in the snatch, 3 attempts in the clean and jerk. You have to get at least 1 correct of each one in order to receive a total. The total is, it's like the SATs, your best snatch together with your best clean and jerk. Both are recorded in kilos and kilograms or kilograms. I always have a hard time saying the kilogram instead of kilo. So, and then that's your best snatch with your best clean and jerk becomes your total. And then your final placement is determined by total within the weight class. So while you're warming up to prepare to, max out or do close to your maximum attempts out in the competition platform, your coach is kind of watching how you're doing in the warm-up, and also watching how your competitors are doing in their warm-ups and what they have projected to lift as their next attempt. And there's this very wonderful chess-like strategy game being played between the coaches who are trying to outcoach each other while also keeping in mind the athlete's best attempt, capacity, strength under pressure, competitiveness, basically. Like mental game, you know what I mean? Like, can one athlete psych another athlete out just with a look or with a whatever? And of course, that's across all sports. But the coach will, do their best to kind of balance all of those things and push their athlete to compete their best. Now, are all meets that intense? To some degree, yes. But it's fun how you can feel the tension, you can feel the energy in that back room shift. And it's depending on the coaches in the room, they may all know each other and may be friends or friendly rivals for 20 years, 30 years. And when you get to international lifting, I mean, even national, wherever, national lifting, domestic, whatever, very often coaches are former lifters. And if you're in the game long enough, if you and I are both coaches but we competed against each other back in the day, we've seen each other grow and change as competitors, as coaches, all of that. And so it's wonderfully complex, and it's not just about who can lift the most weight. So but again, I am keeping in mind your actual question, which is about similarities. And so there is music and there are DJs, but that's such a fun question. I had never really kind of compared it in that way. But and of course, then there's production people too, and there's always the production people, and there's the tech people that are running around solving problems and kind of quietly doing this, and there's people who are quietly delivering ice and and refilling the water station and all of that, right? So it has the support team. There's the the support staff, the tech staff, the venue staff. And I love that backstage stuff, right? And that's how I got involved in this sport in the first place, is that I didn't want to just be in the audience. Yeah. So I said, somebody give me a job. And they did. And then I paid attention and I asked questions and I said, oh, I want to try that.
Damn, you really noticed and wondered. Damn, you really
did. I told you.
That's true, yeah.
I will put my noticing and wondering up against almost anybody's.
Something that you were making me think about, though, that you didn't explicitly state, but I'm gonna attempt to bring something together for the audience too, is when you talk about the athletes, their coaching, the histories that they're all embodying in these spaces, you're really talking about tradition and oral history and how that makes possible the various people to join on, to be on stage, to
perform, to do performance,
to do performance. It wouldn't happen. Everything that they know how to do has come from this very, in some ways, informal or apprentice-like training model. You really,
and even when it's formal, it's still because there are some countries where there's a very formalized system of becoming part of the national team. But even so, it's all through interpersonal and and you have these coaches who have been the national coaches for decades in some cases, and they're legendary figures, and excuse me, and when the backstory on some of these coaches and some of the officials, and even some of the officials even are legendary in their own right, from usually from having been athletes. And it's amazing to watch them when that backstory. It adds so much more. Oh, who
just like in Street Fighter 6 when we have the legacies of particular fighting styles. I'm sure that there's certain lifters that do that they end up adopting elements of strategy from people that may have relevance to their performance or not.
Because there are certain there are certain lifters who lift like they're from X country because they are, and because they've been trained, or because they've been trained by. And and there are certain training methods that worked in various countries for whatever for a number of reasons, some of which can be pointed to and some of which are I'm sure cultural in nature because of the nature of what it means to be an individual in some places versus what it means to be part of a collective in some cases. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And like how people approach their work and how much work someone is socially prepared to do. And of course that varies by individual and there's different coaching methods. I'm going to sneeze, so I'm going to maybe mute my microphone.
Nailed it twice.
Wow, that was really good.
Wow, that's discipline.
Thank you.
That was really good.
On my Blue Yeti. You too can sneeze during a live interview and not blow out the ears of your listeners.
I've coughed several times and Chad has not heard it, by the way.
Yeah, true.
Thank you. Exactly. Yeah, so it's fascinating, right? And you definitely see, oh yeah, they play this style from wherever. That's a Scruggs banjo style. Whatever.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can I say that I've overheard this exact same conversation between Peggy Bulger and Panagiotis League about Greek style goatskin bagpipes at the Florida Folk Festival. Like it was like an ethnomusicologist and folklorist talking about I can tell you've got some Nikita Samornas in you. You know what I mean? With the way you play that bagpipe.
That's hysterical. Well, yeah, no, but it's true. It's true because people will lift they've been taught to lift, and they're even though and again it's taken me 20 years of watching this sport to see the things that I can now see, and I still can't see anywhere near all of it.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? My partner has been a coach for 30 years and can see all of the things and can see it all as it's happening, almost in slow motion. And when I started to be able to see oh, that's what's happening, or that's why they failed to lift, or that's why they made it, or they did a good job doing this or whatever. It's like magic. You know what I mean? And I'm not a musician. My brother's a musician. My mother was a musician. I'm not a musician. And I don't understand music in that way. I appreciate music, but to begin to kind of see that movement and to see to see anyone do something really well is a gift.
Yeah.
Right? I once, talking about unusual things you never expect to do to happen in your life. When I worked in Boston, I got to interview Sifu Bose Mark, who was one of the first people to bring wushu to the US. And I got to see her teach a class once. I was doing some field work and may I come to your class and observe and take some photos? Yes, of course. And to see her move was just incredible. And there were very simple movements, but just the way that she moved her body, this very small, powerful person, to see her move was just, I'm repeating myself, but it was a gift to witness that. And the same way that seeing, the same way that to see, Steve Paulsonella, former strongman and World's Strongest Man competitor, to watch him toss a sheaf was also a gift. It was just to see people do things well, to hear, a master musician play, to hear, bomba played, or to see bomba danced. These are all gifts, and we get to appreciate them even without doing them, which is such a cool thing that we get to do as folklorists, and as weightlifting technical officials.
Sally, that was a great fucking answer. I just have to tell you. Okay.
Hey, thanks, man.
Killing it.
And what's really fun too is that, so if I'm going to cross over that line into actually doing the thing, and that's what it's so exciting to get to do that in weightlifting, because in my capacity as an announcer, now obviously if I'm running the official core, or if I'm refereeing or doing any of the jobs that you do, I'm participating. But I love at a big meet where there's only one platform and all the eyes are there. I love at a big meet that I get to help make that happen, and I get to help make the experience better for the athletes, and I get to say their names in a way that makes them feel good about themselves, or at least not wonder who's going to be called next. You know what I mean? Just to say, just to kind of encourage every single athlete, just by being a warm presence, is really fun. I get to help create that atmosphere with the way that with what you say and how you say it in the venue, it's a really incredible opportunity. And I don't take it lightly, and it's so much fun. That's all. But go on. Next question.
I can tell. All right. Next question. All right. Changing gears a little bit to some public folklore stuff. But how can public foodways programming double as contributing to food justice?
Boy, that's a gimme. I love it. Speak about layups. I love it. Thanks, Dom. Thanks for asking.
Oh, no, don't thank me. Thank the sleuths.
Sleuths. Sleuths. So that refers to the program I'm currently working on, which is called Share Your Foodways. And I'm just going to look at the heavens and I love this program. It's so great. So during the pandemic, I worked for a county arts agency. And sorry, I say stop reading the chat, Sally. So during the pandemic, we're a county public arts agency, and we have a mandate from our funders and the county and the state of New Jersey to serve the public, right? Obviously. We have a long history of doing a public folklore program since 1990. So long history.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the oldest in New Jersey.
There we go.
Sorry. There we go. Shout out to Pennsylvania, my home state, the Commonwealth. But we could no longer do public music or dance or programs or workshops, or we could not feature traditional artists in a public setting, which is what we had done so much. And I started to work there literally just before, I started to work here in October of 2019. So I just got my feet wet in the county, whole new system, did a few public programs, had a great time, great audiences, people show up for stuff. It's great, awesome, great artists. And then pandemic. So, how do you use public arts funds when people are literally going without food? So to answer your question, Dom, we created this program called Share Your Foodways, where we feature and highlight and celebrate foodways from all over the area. And they don't, foodways as loved and practiced by people who live here. That's how we're defining it. It doesn't have to be from a specific place. It has to be from people who live here. And so we asked people to demonstrate their favorite recipes, and we'll film them. We'll make recipe cards. We'll print up the recipe cards in English and Spanish. We'll make the videos. Many of the videos are also in English and Spanish, and we will put them up on our website. And then for every video that we do, we create 100 food kits that are shared, but they're given out for free to families through our county food pantry hub. We have worked with a really phenomenal county food pantry organization that itself is it's the hub, and they work with over 160 different. That's 160 again. If I didn't enunciate, 160 different food pantries, soup kitchens, meal takeaway places and things like that serve the people of the area in the county. So it's phenomenal. So I think that and another really important thing. So we started the project so that we could celebrate the rich culinary richness of the area. Really important, and a really important second focus of the project is to destigmatize the use of food pantries, because that's a really important thing. And getting out the messaging that there isn't any particular criteria that you need to meet, or any person that you have to, any kind of person you need to be, or kind of circumstances that you have to be in order to qualify for a food pantry. You just need food. And every one of us needs food. And some of us have circumstances that we need to get it with a little bit of help. And food pantries exist for this reason. And so we wanted to make sure that people, had a chance to destigmatize them. use the food pantries, and then also to literally feed people, because the tutorials teach people how to cook the food, and then the food supplies, the actual food items are supplies that we're giving people so they can do, as if, as if we were giving them, a pick a handwork thing, but giving them, yarn and a crochet hook or something. You know what I mean? These are the tools that you need. These are the supplies you need to do the thing that we're teaching you how to do. So we've evolved from the initial concept of doing the videos and the recipe cards and the food kits to also now include live cooking demonstrations and at public events, but also at quasi-private, like, registration events at food pantries or at other community events, like, at a Y. We're doing one next week in Perth Amboy, where they're going to be they have an event at the local Y in coordination with their local community action organization, and we're going to be demonstrating and also doing chef walkthroughs with the food pantry. So the client choice model food pantry is where the items are on a shelf, very much like a grocery store, and you just pick what you want, instead of a model of like a boxed pre-boxed,
like a CSA box or something.
Like a CSA box, which kind of, so like, is it a client choice CSA box, or is it like, here's your box, this is what you get this week, here's what's in it. So with the walkthroughs, we're also going to have, like I said, chefs walking through the pantry, be like, hey, do you know what this is? You can do this with this. You can, you can do with this. This is amazing. This is great for whatever. You can substitute this for rice, or you can use this instead of XYZ or whatever.
Yeah.
I would even I would greatly benefit from a chef being like, there's like more than one way to use this can of beans. Okay, I know there's a lot of ways to use can of beans. It's probably a bad example.
The gourds,
I really could, like, if somebody did that for me for like refried beans or something, I'm like, okay, I put refried beans in tacos and on the side, and
I learned so much.
That's what I use them for. That's so
exactly.
cool.
I learned so much every time. And like, my joke is always, but it's true, is that I can do like a dozen different things with a potato. Bring a potato, I got you. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, I got you. Dessert, 100%. All good. Give me a bag of rice and I'm terrified.
Yeah.
I'm going to like mess up how I cook it. Like, and just because I didn't grow up eating a lot of rice that was prepared like from a bag of rice. But and so I joke with my friends, they're like, oh, Sally, but I'm like, what do you mean? Of course you know what to do with the potato. And they're like, I don't know. So it's, we all have these food traditions. And so I think showing everybody, again, it's like, it's universal design, right? You show everybody what's possible, and people take from it, and you make it accessible to everybody. And we have a brand new website that's up, and our Foodways videos are there. So it's really exciting.
It's like okay, this is so
getting
cool.
Out to the world.
I like the way you put that, because it makes me think about like food justice and accessibility as like you just explaining the tools for people to make the art. Like if somebody gave you a paintbrush and you're like, I think I know how to use this. And then you paint like a whatever painting because you don't know that this brush is going to make a certain streak, or that there's even different types of brushes to use.
So true.
Like it's really gonna,
that's a perfect, because like, I don't know what to do with paintbrushes. Like, I sort of kind of know, like I did, I don't.
Everybody knows the Crayola one comes with the plastic hair paintbrushes that you can use to put paint without putting it on your hands.
I was going to say, I know rollers.
The big ass fan one, the tiny one. Yeah, the roller.
Maybe I didn't grow up with that, because like I didn't grow up with that.
Yeah.
How would you know? Yeah, exactly.
After, remember, a kid of the 70s here. So like, so, but it's true, but like not everybody knows what to do. Or like, if someone grew up in a place where there were always fresh fruits and vegetables, because that's what your climate has, what are you gonna do with a can?
Or even
a can of peas?
Yeah.
Or frozen. Or even like frozen peas. You know what I mean? Like,
what are you gonna do in a winter in Perth Amboy or whatever? Yeah.
Yeah. Or even like a person who is able to have time off work to show you how to make that stuff too. Like, you know,
God,
like
100%.
You know, 100%. Like the stuff my mom taught, I was fortunate to have a mom that sometimes could teach and make dinner for us, but not everybody has that. So like if they just are like, well, there's meat in the fridge, you're like, I don't know how to safely cook meat.
Yeah, we're microwaving beef. Yeah.
Yeah, this is why microwave beef happened.
This is why 19-year-old boys microwave beef in their first apartment. Yeah.
But it's true, that's a food injustice. In different ways, in many ways.
Baby meatball. Well, no one's
baby meatball. No,
baby meatball means food justice.
There. Thank you.
Daisy, I have an unusual request, actually.
Oh, okay.
How do you? If I need to blow my nose and you need to start asking Sally funsy questions, do I just get up and do that, or what?
Just be on mic and do that. Yeah, I got you.
Mute, maybe.
Yeah,
mute. No, I need to leave. I need to leave the chair, or I'm gonna start sniffling on mic. Is the thing.
All right, go do it. I'll ask the next question.
Hi, Daisy, take it away.
Dom's feeling a little under the weather.
But reacts.
I know.
This is great because you actually
feel better, Dom. I love you.
Yeah, Dom will be back. But anyway, this is great because we kind of like tried to set you up for the beginning of your funsy questions with this one. So are you ready to get into some more like lighthearted funsy questions? I'm glad you thought those were fun too.
Want to throw with me.
Okay, cool.
I love a good wonder, observe and notice and wonder. You know,
yes, yes, absolutely. So maybe in reference to what we were just talking about, or maybe something completely different. How is food preservation your love language?
Oh my God, I love food preservation.
Can I also tell you, I read there's a special issue of Cultural Analysis coming out that's all about fermentation. Heads up, everybody be on lookout. I'm copy editor for them, so I got to read one of them today. It was so good. Anyway, it was really good. How is food preservation your love language?
So I'm writing down this cultural analysis.
Cultural analysis. It's probably going to come
UCLA?
out. It's all 100% online. UCLA, or maybe it's a Berkeley. I know they go back and forth sometimes, but
I feel like I know there's going to be a comment from my dear friend.
Oh, is it Berkeley? My bad.
I think it's technically Berkeley.
I can't tell the UC. Someone who's only been to Los Angeles. The UC system is too arcane for me.
Yeah, that's fair. Anyway, That's okay. I'll let folks know when it comes out. It probably won't come out till July, I think is when it's scheduled. So anyway, a little bit ahead, but we're getting close. Awesome. Yeah, fermentation is like my brain is like exploding about this.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I love food preservation. I love canning, and I grew up canning. My mother canned a few items. My grandmother made jelly. Honestly, the thing I most remember are like, jelly, specifically strawberry jelly, sometimes grape jelly, peach maybe, but always strawberry. Like at every family meal, growing up with my grandparents, my mother's family, my mother's parents, my grandmother always had jelly bread for every meal. Didn't matter if it was Thanksgiving, if it was coming over for just to hang out for a hot minute and we're going to have grilled cheese and whatever, milk or whatever as a kid, always jelly bread. Like, so bread, white bread, Italian, whatever, loaf of bread, sliced bread, and not homemade, just white bread, and then jelly, usually almost always strawberry jelly. And she would comment, I think this is pretty good if it was a new jar, whatever. This one didn't set up right, whatever. It was maybe a little too runny. But like, so homemade jelly, I only had homemade jelly growing up, really. So I'm a little bit salty about store-bought jelly. But I love canning, and I love like the sound that canning lids make when they seal. It'll pop, and like my canning fans out there, for real, everyone just like sighed who like knows, because it's like it's the sound that the seal is working and be preserved.
It pops. Like, well, magic. There's the one where it seals, and then there's a sound when it pops that also comes with sort of like an aftermath. sort of microbial hurrah, if you will, of
a microbial hurrah.
I'm serious, because they all kind of go like
hurrah.
Microbial hurrah.
Yes.
They all like simmer, so you know that it was sealed in such a way, and it kind of like the gaseous release is the microbial hurrah. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, exactly. Or the air filling the vacuum. It's So I love this summer, right before I went to grad school, I remember canning tomatoes from my parents' garden, and when I would make green tomato relish and pickles sometimes, and my grandmother would make pickles and things. So I love canning, and I love giving people the things that I've canned. And if you have an empty jar, it used to have things that I made in it, please return the jar. Those mason jars can be infinitely reused. Please don't recycle it unless there's a chip or something in it, because Mama needs the jars back, because that shit gets expensive.
They gotta refill it and then give it back to you. Yes. That's part of the economy of it all. Yeah.
But they can also just return it with love.
They can also just return
it. That's okay.
Yeah.
Because I'll refill it and I'll give it out again. Because I love, it's giving homemade canned things is definitely a way that I show love. It's one of the ways that I show love.
I just want to point out. Oh, sorry.
Hell yeah.
No, go ahead.
I just wanted to point out two things.
Shirt?
No, two things that. Well, I do love that. Two things that guests have said on this program. Mama wants the jars back, and Daddy wants static. Oh, it is.
Mama wants the jars back, and Daddy wants static. Both of those are good. That's also very good.
That's
the morels are the best part. Oh hell yeah! He's like dressed up in that one.
You're kind of
grad
swaggy.
School bestie, Cherie Smith. Love you, Cherry. WKU, go Tops. Sent this to me a couple months ago. It was like,
it's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome.
Amazing. I've been stopped on the street to be like, your shirt's awesome. I'm like, thank you.
Thank you. I'm a folklorist. Yeah.
Hell yeah. But yeah, so I love it's so much, it's a ton of work, and I love it. And I know from the time my kids were little, they'd be like, hey Mom, I have a question, or I saw you have a question, or whatever. And I'm like, wait, not right now. I'm jarring. Come on, not right now. Give me my 10 minutes. It's that frenzied, focused.
Yeah.
Because
you could drop them
around.
Yeah.
Jelly.
Yeah.
I have given myself burns, but I haven't ever burned anybody else. Knock on wood. Badly. So that's
all I can say is you're gonna love that special issue, because it's maybe like the folklore world giving back a piece of love to you from Europe, mostly
giving you the jars back, as it were.
Yeah, they're giving you the jars back. Yeah, look at you've contributed to this larger than life community. Yeah.
Well played. But yeah, no, I love canning.
Yeah,
it's so much fun. And I actually have some really old mason jars that are from the early 20th century. It's really rare to find one from the late 1800s, but I have some ones that are 1920, 1915.
Sounds like
and
something
they're really fun
and pretty.
Doesn't it?
Not in Indiana. It would be a ball jar. It'd be a ball jar in Indiana, Daisy. Come on.
Yeah, it's true. Sorry, ball jar in Indiana.
I also have Ball, I have Atlas, I have a Mason, of course.
Hell yeah.
I
got another funsy question for you. You ready?
Please. I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so.
Why do you have a square business card, and do you still have it?
Do I have a square business card?
Okay, now we may need to do behind the curtain on this, because you inspired Folkwise to have square business cards, because
we all definitely we at the sleuthing meeting, we all talked about receiving your square business card, and we were all like, yes, she is the person who gave us the idea for square business cards.
Really? I remember I had the really skinny ones that I loved. Those were from Moo. I love the skinny ones from Moo.
No, I'm talking about.
And they just had this wonderful
square
picture.
By Yay Big.
Do you have a picture of it?
Not anymore. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know, but because Folkwise got square business cards because of your
at an AFS. You gave us square business cards, and we were like, "What the fuck?"
We were like, "Whoa!" And then
AFS,
we were like, "Oh, shit, square because it's different, and 19, it fits." Maybe Folkwise fits in it, and it's like Instagram, and it's like all these other things. There's all this little marketing intricacies.
That sounds so cool right now, but I mean, I don't because I can't remember it. But
I swear,
I swear
you had him.
This again, most mysterious person voted most mysterious.
Yeah, like
most mysterious.
I was voted most mysterious. Well, gives out
business cards that explode into a puff of smoke.
That's next. So I did, before I forget, because I'll be really sad if I forget to tell you the fun fact. It used to be one of my favorite trivia about myself for a long time was the fact that I had been voted most likely to join the circus in high school.
Love that.
Which was,
what do you do now? You're a folklorist. I'm just kidding.
I know, like
I know some people in Sarasota who can help with that.
Dude, they're freaking. What's her name? Daisy. It was Daisy. The
Dolly Jacobs.
The Dolly Jacobs. Thank you. Oh my God.
Yep.
She's so cool.
She's the best.
Like, talk about fangirl.
I got to see her closet of gowns.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
Oh yeah. Got to see all her gowns.
Oh, she is so cool.
She rules.
Cool.
This is just a shout out to Queen of the Air, Dolly Jacobs, Her Highness. Daughter of Lou Jacobs, the original clown.
Yeah. Like just like amazing lineage, amazing skills. Like, and to see her again, to see someone do their thing is a gift. I was lucky enough to be in the house when she won, for her National Heritage Fellowship concert, and oh my God, just jaw-droppingly stunning movement and just amazing. Yeah, so sometimes I see people like that. I'm kind of like, I'm a folklorist. I know really good athletes too. Can I just be near you? Like, I'm just like such a dork. I don't know what to do with myself, but it's just, you're just in awe sometimes of how amazing people are at the thing they do.
And absolutely.
That's all. That's all there is to it. Anyway, yeah. So I would love to learn more about circus life sometimes because I think I'm well suited to it in a lot of ways. But sidebar. Anyway, yeah, so that was that. So mysterious. Yeah. So square business cards, dude. I don't know. I'm holding on to that thread, guys. You have to admit.
That's good. You are. You're doing good. You're doing good at circling back.
You're very good. Yeah.
Working really hard.
You are. I appreciate how I can hear the steel works in your brain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we go to the next question? Okay.
Yeah. Only from my permission.
Okay, is Rhonda Aaron America's greatest muskrat skinner?
She's fucking legendary.
She's the best.
Yeah, you can only be legendary if you have a title after you, like muskrat skinner. I feel like that's yeah.
So, fun fact, I was actually on the panel for the Maryland State Arts Council of Maryland Traditions the year that she was awarded her apprenticeship as a master muskrat skinner. And when we had the conversation, like, is muskrat skinning a traditional art form? Hell yes, it is. And this is how, and this is why. And excuse me. So that's how I first became aware of her as a person, as a tradition bearer, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on, I was lucky enough, as Dom knows, to do field work for the Ward Museum with NCTA. No, not NCTA, but it was with NCTA or was it? No, it was through Maryland Traditions.
Yeah, Maryland Traditions. Yeah,
Maryland Traditions and Maryland Traditions and the Ward to do field work as a contract folklorist, doing field work in the Lower Eastern Shore and the hunting and trapping traditions of the Lower Eastern Shore in Maryland, which is on the Chesapeake Bay. For those of you who may be from outside the listening area,
and if people are from the listening area, she's talking about Guarandani Ocean. That's where that is.
And so I was lucky enough to go to Rhonda Aaron's house and talk to her again. Dude, yes, dude. So great.
Dude, the walls have muskrats on them.
Probably not just muskrats days.
She has a couple of really incredible taxidermy pieces.
Whoa.
And also she gave me some homemade jelly.
Ooh!
Amazing. That's how you know it was meant to be.
I can't remember. I hope that I gave her because sometimes when I go on certain field work trips, you just know you should take some of your own jelly as a gift. So so I hope that I did that, and I know I came away with some of hers, and it was amazing. And I really just treasured every little spoonful that I had. And she's incredible. So I mean, if there's a better muskrat skinner, I don't know about it. But I think they eventually retired her title. I mean, I think that she eventually kind of retired her title, hung up her jersey.
Yeah, she gets to be the Dowager Empress or the Dowager Countess,
Empress of the outdoor show. And do I have my? I had it. Where did it go? I had it. Where did it go?
Did you get to
World
eat
Championship
muskrat jacket?
I ate. I don't think I ate. I don't think. I think they didn't actually. I think so. I think it was a rough year actually for trapping.
Oh, interesting.
The year that I went, I think that there wasn't, or maybe they had run out of the muskrat stew.
Yeah.
When I was there that day, because I was at the national outdoor show, and I certainly got food there to eat, but I can't remember what it was. But I don't think I didn't actually eat. I don't think they didn't have any muskrat. I think they either run out or they didn't have enough of it or something. But those contests are amazing. They're so fast, and they had raccoon skinning, muskrat skinning, and of course there were like different divisions. Youth, senior. I don't remember other ones if there were, but even the youngest kids who are the slowest are still so fast. And of course, they're assessed for, nicks or cuts and in the hide and all that kind of stuff. And it's just absolutely incredible. But so yeah, Rhonda Aaron's a total badass.
Yeah,
and an absolutely sweet, wonderful, welcoming person who was so generous with her time and her knowledge, and she's really, I mean, a gift to she's a national treasure.
Hell yeah.
What I'm gonna say.
Shouts to Dayton's in Salisbury, where I've eaten muskrat. It was rich. It was the richest meat I've ever had.
Yeah.
It's like its tissues contained its own gravy. You know what I mean? It was so juicy when you bit into it.
Its tissues contained its own gravy. That is evocative.
Thank you.
And I just kind of made a face back here nobody saw, but I'm sure it was telling. I was like,
what's this article you linked?
I just linked an article to the muskrat skinning, eating competition. Oh.
Who was that? Daisy?
Amber Alert. I think that's her.
Fire alarm? Yeah.
Oh, look. Oh, so you're putting in the chat. Thank you, Share Foodways. Yes. I think my chat is
we're posting. We're posting.
Yeah, we're posting. Trying to reference it. Sorry, I got an emergency weather alert. It is also the same sound for an Amber Alert, but I got a tornado warning. So I'll be fine. Anyway, the tornado sirens are also going off around me, but I don't live in the place where they used to be in my backyard, so you can't hear them. Wow. Anyway.
Can we ask you one more fun question, and then
you can ask me any. Listen,
4 hours.
4 hours club. It's a 4 hours attempt, people.
4 hours and more. I can go.
That's right.
Go. I have the monster. We're good.
Daisy, ask this last one.
All right. Last question. Probably the hardest. Well, not really. Kind of. Then we're gonna play a little game. Okay. Last question of the formal questions. It's probably gonna be the hardest one that you have had to answer so far.
It's not. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Okay.
You'll be fine.
How many little orange guys do you have? And are they anything like Jorts the cat? I am referring to your
orange guys.
Children, not your
actual. Bring out an orange guy.
Not your actual children that are also.
I was picturing like little clementines, like anthropomorphic. I was picturing like anthropomorphic.
Little clay figure.
Anthropomorphic like clementines with like from Better Off Dead. There's like the meat patty, like animated version that's stop motion.
Oh my god!
Whole 80s montage.
Is that Baby Meatball? What's up?
Do I collect those? I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Like we have a weightlifting Smurf figurine. Is it like a weightlifting Clementine? No. So of the 4-footed variety, I have we're down to just one, Ernie. So Stella, who you saw, who I love that you posted that picture of me announcing.
It was so cute.
the thing that was Stella.
Yeah.
And he was just phenomenal. He showed up one cold January night as is it I want to say it's not Missingast, it's Mithridian Sassenach. What's her name? Where is
Midgardian Sassenach.
Yeah. Midgardian Sassenach. As she will fondly remember, he showed up one very extremely cold January night. Was basically like, all right, I'm here now, and then proceeded to
Cat, you were involved in the cat distribution system.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Well, he just showed up telling us that he was home now, and so Ernie, come here.
That's so cute.
Come here, Ernie.
Where's that buddy?
Ernie. Let's see if he'll come over. Come here, baby. Come here. You're so sweet boy. He's like, no, I'm not getting my head near you.
Oh my gosh, I'm get Ernie tempted.
Our people. So Ernie, we're just down to Ernie as our kitty cat. There we go.
Yes.
Hey!
Chunker. Beautiful.
17-ish pounds.
What? Oh, I thought he was 17 years old. I was like, oh, with those mitts.
He's born August 31st, 2013.
Whoa.
So yeah, he's 11 now. He's 11. He's polydactyl, front and back
look
paws.
at his...
That's what's up.
And everybody,
thick chunk of a ginger.
Yeah.
So bye, baby. Love you.
Huge cat, big paws, big punches, chunky guys.
And he likes to lay on me. And sometimes he doesn't even want me in the bed. So like he's just like, no, my space now. He's good. He's like his own weighted blanket right there by himself. And then I have 2 human gingers at home also. And then I also have
are any of them like Jorts the cat on Twitter? Do you know about Jorts?
Good.
I just want to make sure.
Okay. I know about Gene and Jorts.
Okay. Please.
And good. I think Ernie. What do you think? So do you think Jorts? Ernie is like Jorts at all? Ernie's a Jorts.
Very good.
Nice.
You can hear.
Hey.
Yeah. Ernie's a Jorts.
Hi, Ernie.
So he'll eat half the food in his bowl, and then he'll come crying to me because he doesn't realize there's food on the other half of his bowl because he can see the bottom.
Oh.
Yeah, there he went.
Yeah, that's pretty Jorts coded. It's Jorts coded.
I say that affectionately.
Yeah, and Stella was definitely the Gene of that relationship.
Not to insult.
Stella was like a fucking assassin
cat.
Thank you, Death Loris, for the sub.
And object permanence, dare I say?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. And like, and Stella would not. Stella would fuck with Ernie. It was so great.
I love that.
Amazing. Like in the most loving brotherly ways. Stella got his name because he just seemed like a Stella, and I didn't know when he arrived. We had just gotten Ernie, who was still a little tiny kitten.
Aww.
And we didn't, and Stella was full grown. We didn't know. I didn't know what I was looking at, frankly. And I thought I saw 2 holes, and I know enough about anatomy to know that generally speaking, and not to assume a cat's gender or anything, but anyway, I took him to get spayed because that's what Bob Barker taught me responsible pet owners do.
That's right.
Yeah. And thank you for that. You're welcome. And then
we're like,
we can't spay him because we can't spay your cat because he's already been neutered. I'm like, oh. So anyway, the name
that's why.
Well, that unlocks something. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So
and
so he was an indoor-outdoor cat. We lived in the country, and we had like about an acre. He loved to run.
Leaving dead things right at the bottom of the porch steps.
And he
very good.
He took down
very helpful
birds and things. He took down a squirrel at least once.
Oh my gosh.
Tell the backstory.
My mom is in midair.
Oh my god, my mom has an orange cat who did that too.
Oh my god.
He's also got bats. He's gotten bats like twice in California.
So athletic. Like, how do they do that? It's amazing. But
curtains. Fucking curtains.
Yeah, like a bat got in the house once, and he climbed. All of a sudden, we saw him freaking out and climbing the curtains, and then he like knocked it down out of the curtains, and then it started to fly around
the couch, and I ran out of the door screaming because I was 9 and I didn't like bats.
And then he's like flying around, and or the bat was flying around, and then Stella just kind of leapt up and caught it, and then and then he's holding this bat in his mouth and looking at us like, all right, I got it now. And we're like, okay. So that was the thing. That was time.
All right.
This is
starter pack.
Okay.
Nimrod, this is Nimrod the Great Hunter.
Okay, so I sensed sort of the closing of that question, so I shared this with you early to prompt our next activity.
Oh, let's get into it.
That is the formal end of our questions for you, but we have one final thing to do together tonight, which we thought would be really fun. So if you click
the first questionnaire, but
okay, so if you click
for me.
Okay, watch stream. You will see a starter pack meme. Do you know what a starter pack meme is?
Oh shoot!
I don't.
Okay,
explain, Daisy.
This
I know what a starter.
Julius knows. If you think about it, I bet Julius knows. It's a meme, sort of.
It for all our people.
It is the form of a meme that takes the shape of whatever subculture it's part of. But basically, what are the core key elements if you wanted to start being in part of that folk group, in that community, whatever it is, that you would need to like
stereotypically,
So sometimes very stereotypically. There's lots of variation of this meme, and so we have kind of adopted it on our channel as like a co-creating digital collage activity where we can make starter pack memes for something that you or our guest is very specifically interested in, and you happen to be interested in weightlifting. So take this as you will. I have a couple examples. So this was one that we made for the Moomin Troll fandom last time. You may or may not know Moomin Troll.
I don't.
It's okay if you don't. Here's another one.
I have seen this meme before.
It's
Transylvanian Saxon Club.
It's funny that you mentioned Smurfs and you don't know Moomin, because I feel like Smurfs are more popular outside of Europe and Moomin are more popular in Europe. They're both of the same.
Japan.
They're
Moomin is more recent, right? Like,
no, they're about the same time.
No, pretty old.
Yeah.
We gauge you crime. That's so cute.
Yeah, that's what Stefkin said.
I totally remember that typewriter from like my dad's office when I was.
Hell yeah.
The school secretaries had it. Definitely.
So we like to curate some prompts here to like help kind of what are the typical things that you see in a starter pack.
Right.
We don't have to do all of them if they're not relevant, and if you can think of other ones. If you can think of other ones that are more relevant, we can do something else too. So feel free to. We can change the font. We can change the image background. Anything you want.
Again,
let's go
like
for
a sans serif. Because
okay.
Let's
see if I can. What do we have for sans serif? Yeah,
that's what you have. You're good. Like you have.
I'm good here. Okay. This is pretty standard, but we can also like I don't know what's like a gym font. What's
not marker?
No, permanent marker. Actually, that's kind of funny.
Well, that sounds like it would hurt my.
That's
brain.
pretty funny, actually. Like this.
Third grade, and I don't know why I still remember this.
Wow.
This is pretty funny.
Yeah, there is like writing on a chalkboard like that or weightlifting. Oh, actually, you know what? You're fucking.
See, yeah, it kind of does look like the gym community board. Yeah,
child is growing up in the gym. Okay.
All right. What else?
Again, so which
you say like anything, and I'll find a picture for you.
Is it coaching? Is it?
We can put weightlifting. We can make that
technical official.
Maybe. Yeah, let's call it.
No, I like weightlifting though. I like weightlifting or like weightlifting, or like weightlifting. I mean, because also
weightlifting gym starter pack.
Okay.
Weightlifting gym life.
No,
starter pack.
Sure, weightlifting gym is fine. Or like weightlifting, even just weightlifting starter pack, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, because I do also know what it's like to own a business and own a gym. So
yeah, it could be. I mean, yeah.
Oh, so I actually didn't mention that in my earlier thing is that I also I co-own a gym.
Yes, it does.
Yes. Whose poor child has grown up in. With my partner. And it's called McKenna's Gym, and it's here in Highland Park, New Jersey, and it's awesome. And we have the best members. And I really love.
Yeah, you did say they were very beautiful earlier.
I did say that I am really comfortable being the ugliest person in my gym, and I stand by that. And I love our members, and I so lucky, and at the risk of using the word community in a you know, it's kind of hackneyed a lot of times in gym speak, but it really freaking is, and I love it, and it's amazing. And I just have met the best people through weightlifting, but also through folklore, right? You know, like we know the best people. And again, I sit at the intersection of two incredible groups of people who I'm so lucky to care about and be loved on by and just get to see do their thing. You know, I'm so lucky. I love it.
Let's celebrate some of the special, unique things you know about them in an image.
Yes, in an image.
Chocolate
milk. Yes.
What?
Chocolate milk.
Excellent recovery milk.
That's
okay.
That's
do you want
the
me
drink.
to do like
that's the
you want me to do all right, you want me to do
for the canning
this
shout
one?
out, please. The can with the lid. Yes, 100%.
That one. Hell yeah. Okay.
I also like to say I like how all 5 of us are on screen now.
Yeah,
Dom, Daisy, Sally, Julius, and Zangief. The whole gang is here.
Yeah. Okay. We got a drink. I'll make it look cool as we start adding stuff, but we've also got like
Can we get sassy t-shirt as one of the things?
And do you have an idea
for t-shirt say all snatch jokes are funny? Snatch jokes are always funny?
Yep.
That would be amazing.
Let's see.
I don't know if you can like custom make that.
Sure can.
Oh, that's true.
I sure can.
Yeah, you can, can't you?
He's like, challenge accepted.
Yeah, literally. I'm like, challenge accepted. Don't worry about this.
Oh, all 6 of us are here now.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Baby. He decided to headbutt me, so I have kidnapped
him. All right,
again.
we wanted to say what is it?
Snatch jokes are always funny.
Snatch jokes are always funny.
This
and I'm gonna
needs
make
a block,
it
sans serif.
It sure does.
Like go back to Helvetica or something.
Okay, let's see.
Impact.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I see this in my head.
There's this. No, it needs like this one. Hold on. Let me just.
I can live with that.
It's pretty funny. I can make it bigger too.
Love this.
So these two, I'm gonna group them so that way I can just fit check.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
What album is playing?
What music is playing?
I mean, so I kind of want to categorize it as like curated Spotify list.
My father is strange.
Okay, what about like
literally
he plays Guns N' Roses a lot, doesn't he?
I mean, he does, but he has like 1,001 liked songs on his like My Songs playlist.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
And so it's everything from, you know, Zeppelin to
depressing Irish murder ballads.
I mean, Fields of Athenry, you know, so inspirational, key inspirational,
what if I look up
heavy
like music to weight lift to?
Yeah,
and that'll be the fucking The Rock. It's about drive, it's about power. We say hungry, we say
Oh my god, there is a weightlifting playlist. It's called Spotify makes a playlist called weightlifting music. Oh, but it's music. It's based on stuff that I'm into. So it's like if I were to weightlift. Okay, wait, that's not what I want.
Could be your
future. I just want to search regular. Hey, very soon.
You're gonna work out in your place, man.
Yeah,
I'm gonna. Yeah, y'all are gonna help me get swole. Okay, let me see playlist. All right, here's a weight. Okay, how about gym music -- heavy lifting swole arm? Is that
sure?
Okay, I'm gonna. I have this. Yeah. This is gonna be something I've never done before on this, but I think it's gonna
take a screenshot.
Yeah.
Hell yeah!
It's a public playlist.
I think that works because and honestly, we'll have everything from I mean, sometimes you know, in the gym, like one of our folks will play, you know, heroic movie soundtracks, and they'll be like, I feel really heroic right now, and it's like, you should. It's because, you know, or like anime stuff, or we'll play in my Pandora. I have Pandora because I'm a dork, and
it's pretty fun.
But like it'll go from John Denver to like Biggie Smalls, so it's
and then stuff from and then like musicals.
And then
I'm a theater.
Oh my god, and the musicals show up. Okay, well this one has Last Resort, Papa. This one has Papa Roach, Rage Against the Machine, System of a Down, Motorhead, Foo Fighters, Green
System of
Day.
a Down is S tier gym music.
I completely agree. That's how I know all. That's how I know all of the words to the album. To Toxicity.
Oh yeah, put it right behind the milk. Put it right behind the milk like that. That's awesome.
Yeah, because you get that's good. That's good.
So these are sort of what we have left for now. This can also be over it a little bit too.
I mean, and you're gonna have like
we can have more. We can have like more clothes too if you want. Like if there's like.
I was gonna say we should adjust the background.
Yeah, and the background too. What if I type like?
I like the t-shirt. You like there are going to be like so something that we have in our gym is posters from past events, and like if I go to a meet, I try and have I try and get some swag from the end of it. Like I have
totally legally. Yep.
No, actually, I take with permission. I take stuff. Always take stuff with permission.
I have seen you grab random lines and just take them home on the plane.
Well, yeah, but I do that with permission of the hosts. I do.
Can I?
I'm an honorable person.
Can I propose an idea, Daisy?
Yeah. What do you think? I'm like trying to put like
Sally,
a gym.
I got an idea.
No,
I got an idea for the background.
Okay.
I got an idea for the background.
All right.
Can you just find like the Sally? Tell me what
platform?
They're called. No, the platform. I didn't even think about that. I was thinking like
did you get the link I sent with the Google Drive with images in it?
Yes, Daisy, you have that? It's an email.
Yes.
There's a great picture from the stage of the Tokyo platform.
I meant like the interlocking foam puzzle piece floor.
I know exactly what you're talking. Oh, you don't use that?
No, it's amazing and wonderful.
We don't use that.
I love those.
Floor. I mean, stall mats. Use stall mats.
Stall mats.
Let me see.
Like a 4x6 stall mat.
See if I can.
You'll use. Oh yeah, there's some photos. So there's photos of me doing stuff around the world. So
these are pretty amazing. Okay. So look, I have my tornado warning. Can you see my tornado?
Yeah, we heard. We heard.
No. That's okay. I'll be fine.
Yeah, find a good one of a platform.
That's in Iran. Top photos are all in Iran. In 2018. Shustar is one of the original aqueducts. It's it's
nice.
Hundreds and hundreds of years old. Wow. That's me representing the U.S. in Iran. Hey.
Hell yeah.
The test event for Tokyo there with the red. That's on the right there. That's Richard, who I've done a lot of the big meets with, and he's on the right there again. That's at the test event for Tokyo, with our Japanese translator. It was amazing. Yeah. And then the other photos are in Ashgabat and Uzbekistan. And then Tokyo. Yes, but that's the platform. That's
lovely.
Photo, right?
That's lovely.
Can I?
Let's
do it.
Are you thinking about
every day I
it?
went there? It was like, this is cool.
I think I'm gonna. Yeah, I can mirror it.
Background, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Background. Oh, please. Hold on. I think I can just.
The artwork yesterday.
You did your artwork.
Send to back. I can make it the background, but I'm gonna try to like make it very obvious.
Can you change the saturation to maybe?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, there you go with the there you go, baby. There you go.
Something like
baby, you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. This is weightlifting time. I get it. Okay, I'll put like the bar in the middle, but then I can also do like that's not what I wanted. Let me think about this. I can like make it more opaque. Oh, that actually helps.
Yeah.
Set
that helps a lot.
I set as page background. That looks better.
That looks nice.
And then this stuff I can do like whatever colors you want, but I can do like make it look clearer if you want.
I think it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Maybe that weightlifting star to be in white, maybe.
Yeah, I can't read it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like what if we do that?
White text, yeah.
There we go.
And then I could even do I can do like outline a little more like that too. Or I could even make it like, what if I make it like an like a little bit yellow? Like I feel like that's the wall is not eggshell at a gym, the wall is like just a little bit beige. Maybe
ours is green.
Green.
Is green.
Historically, ours is green.
Okay.
I painted the most beautiful like half wall line in our old gym.
Very nice. They were very nice.
It's visually too like complicated to probably explain, but like it was 4 separate
walls. Oops, sorry.
When you looked at them from the right angle,
right perspective, all the lines
they were exactly level. It basically, I made a really level, kind of half color wall with
Hell yeah.
it was like a level and a pencil and a tape measure, and I did a really, really good job with that, and I'm so proud of that still.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, so I'm know your worth, I bring things to the world. Sometimes it's just a well-painted wall.
We could add what's something people say at the gym a lot. What do they say?
Other than snatch jokes are always funny.
Other than snatch jokes are always
I think only I say that, but
okay, then I can get rid of this.
Up, or
how do I convert this into pounds?
No, we don't say that.
That's pretty funny.
Sometimes not no.
Sometimes people say that.
I would say, how about people say, we would yell like up, or come on, like if someone's coming up from a heavy squat or something, you're like squeeze, squeeze, hold it. Those are good things to yell. Squeeze, hold it.
How about like something like this kind of energy?
Don't use the chalk marker, it doesn't come off the wall.
Oh my god, this one. So true.
It doesn't, it's awful.
Julius, you're not gonna understand this, but I need you to meet our another friend's kid whose name is Jummy.
Oh my god.
So you have the same energy.
I love that.
That's Ian Brody's kid.
Ian Brody's kid. Also on Folkwise was trolling Ian.
That's awesome.
It's pretty silly. I'll make this white also.
What did I say tonight to Kirby? I said the best cue tonight. I said anticipate success or something, or
I have discovered something.
I forget what.
Oh, I could put
the hat. The tiara. What do I have? Oh, I have a little pride flag. Hey.
Yeah.
Shit we just have on our floor.
Love that.
On our porch.
Of course.
Love it.
We have it.
Of course.
It's been here since last year. Right, hello.
Who's the celebrity we should put?
Yeah, what do you think? Somebody like they don't have to be like a celebrity.
No, it could be somebody that you look up to.
Somebody you personally know that you're like, that person is like a total, representative of, if you know.
Well, I mean, there's a couple that come to mind. Like, there's a couple. If you want to pick like an American, you could pick Cheryl Hayworth, 3-time Olympian, super heavyweight. There's also, Pierce Demas, who is probably the most celebrated living weightlifter of all time.
He's a very good weightlifter.
He is Greek. He's 3-time Olympic champion, 4-time Olympic medalist. He is also the technical director for USA Weightlifting. Great guy. We do have a poster of him up in our gym.
We do?
Yeah, it's in the hallway.
Oh,
he signed it that time. The first time that we met him. You don't remember first. We have the picture of all of us.
All I remember is Miss Sarah yelling.
Well, he signed the poster that day too.
Delightful.
He's a great guy. Yeah. Yeah, we have posters of him up. We have and we have pictures. We definitely have pictures of our friends up, and we have lots of them.
Are the posters on your website or on your gym's website?
No, probably not.
Okay.
I mean, they're in the background if they are.
Yeah,
the poster of Pyros is it's an Iron Mind. So I can find it.
Some of them you can Google them and find them. Most of them you cannot.
If you find an image and you drop it in the stream mods chat, I will add it to this.
I am getting it right now. Yeah, that's Pyros. I mean, that's from.
I thought that was a random guy from the 80s. I mean, it is a random guy from the 80s, but apparently
I was gonna say you're not wrong.
Apparently, I know. Yeah.
I think that particular photo is from.
Okay.
That might be from Atlanta, which is '96, which was his first gold medal. No, his.
Oh, this is great.
That's from 2000, actually. No, that's from 2000. Is the one that I sent you is the one from 2000.
Will this work? Do you think this is okay?
I think it's. I'm sure. So let me see. Go back to this thing.
It looks very much like something that would be in a gym, based on what I know about
we have that poster
Rocky.
up in our gym, and it's signed, so we have it up.
We do. I didn't realize that was not.
Yeah, it's Pyros.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
Mr. Pyros.
Wow. Hell yeah.
Damn, he looks like
else?
he looks like he looks like the way like Jim Lee draws Batman. He's got a body I only thought you could draw.
Yeah, true.
That is a great quote, and honestly, and that's true. I mean, that's certainly. It's amazing what people's bodies can and will do. You know what I mean? Like the ways that they can.
Yeah.
I love it. He's got a body I thought you could only draw. That's such a great quote.
Oh my god, again.
Daisy again. I think
you're safe, right? Daisy? Like, you're safe, right?
I'm on the 3rd floor.
They live in Ohio.
That's next to a river. The river flooding is more of a problem than the tornado based on where I am.
They live in Ohio. This is all spring.
This is all like all spring, and it's also
for
the people on the edge of my county, but I'm really like in the middle, and so a tornado couldn't actually I don't think
it would be a big deal if it happened. Yeah, it would be.
I don't think that there's historically been a tornado that has been in the center of Franklin County, Columbus. I think that it's all like the people who are on the edge that it matters a little more for. Anyway,
speaking of the center of Franklin County, Daisy and Sally go to the Arnold.
Oh my god, would you want to go to the Arnold? Holy shit!
The Arnold.
I would go for folkloric purposes only, and primarily it would be a grant-funded documentation project or something,
Hell yeah.
like that. Like I don't want to pay my own money to go to the Arnold, but maybe maybe.
I mean, I've been to the Arnold. I want to say twice, maybe.
Have you been 3 times?
Maybe.
Fun
fact: I met my beloved as he was telling stories about being at the first weightlifting meet held at the Arnold in 2003. I met and we bantered over his recounting of shenanigans that had been engaged in. Oh yeah, with him and Sweet Rock. Good times.
I know about Sweet Rock. I didn't know about the Arnold.
Well, he was telling stories about the Arnold, the 2003 Arnold, and that's when we met. It was a fun time. Setting off, 2 decades plus of banter and shenanigans and banter over shenanigans. So yeah, good times.
Are we looking for either a snack or a book to bring
personally, home? I feel like I want a microphone in this picture.
Yeah.
Again, not everybody for weightlifting does.
But that's just because I'm used to singlets having lots of glitter on them.
Singlets.
So I can do. I can do like kind of a goofy drawn one, or I could get a
make it very small and hide it in the corner.
Or like a Shure SM58 is really, which is like the top left hand. It looks like from my
top left, top
on the left.
Oh wait, hold on.
Top left.
Whoa,
the Shure SM58 is my standard. It's usually what we have it, and it means to me very similar to it.
This is like
That's true.
This is weirdly like the second interview in a row to mention a Shure SM58. Weirdly enough.
Fascinating.
Weirdly enough, I mean, come on, it's
the folklore microphone.
That's true. It's been recent, actually.
Standby. It is dependable. You can drop it, and it still works. I mean, you can dent it; it still works. It's amazing, and it's not expensive.
You can lose it in your attic for 14 months,
weeks,
and it still works.
It still works. It's great.
Hey.
And again, is it a gym starter? Is it a competition starter pack? Is it a whatever? But I think this is a solid beginning place.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
A solid beginner.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, again, you can go off in many varieties.
Totally. What about just should I just put like a dumbbell there? Like what's the most common thing that people lift weights with?
Oh, barbell.
Barbell.
Yeah, like a barbell.
Their hands. Technically.
Chalk.
What about
technically they're called discs.
Oh my god, yeah,
bumper
chalk.
Plates.
They're called
chalk. Chalk makes you stronger.
That's right.
What are they called? Discs.
They're actually officially called discs. Seriously. In
Why
the TCRR, the technical. Oh my god, I'm embarrassing myself.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's the rules and regulations. Technical competition rules and regulations of weightlifting. They're called discs. And so, fun fact: the barbell does bend because it's steel. It's specialty steel. It's made barbells are
sometimes it bends and you don't realize it's fancy, and so you think it's going to break. Well, the guys holding 500 pounds above his head.
Exactly.
It's very specialty steel. I mean, these are all kinds of deep dives we can do, right?
Yeah.
But it's specialty steel that is made to whip and to bend, and so you cannot do weightlifting on a powerlifting bar. Or you can, but you won't do it well. It'll hurt you.
With 500 pounds above your head.
It won't break, but the barbell is not made. It's not made to be drawn. Okay. And the discs aren't made, you need their rubber coated discs.
No, I'm just being a little
drop them. And so a barbell, it doesn't bend that much really during weightlifting, but it sort of does. And if it's a women's bar with like, 160 kilos on it, it's sure going to bend a whole lot too. Or the 15, if it's the 15 kilo bar, because they whip more, because they're relatively more bendy than the 20 kilo bar. Sorry, I'm going on tangents and deep dives.
That's
now.
Okay.
It's like a world I live in, So
no, it's so. I mean, and it's something
that's how you
that,
get to the 4 hours club. To be honest,
yeah, truly, it's also something.
No, I can do 4 hours on weightlifting. It's
so
it's
cool.
Amazing.
Does this satisfy you for a starter pack? If somebody saw this meme, they would understand something about the weightlifting community broadly.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm gonna download
not
it.
Everybody would have a microphone on theirs.
Sure.
But mine does.
Yeah, yours
one here.
It's a competition or whatever. Yeah. Hell yeah. Well, that's what we got for the formal interview. I mean, there's only 15 minutes left, so I'm like, what do we do? Get into baby meatball final battle? And then,
I was gonna say you wanna commentate. You wanna commentate a match of mine online.
Yeah, that would be.
But first, there is one thing. There is
any,
one thing we gotta do before we say goodnight, or before we end the interview.
Yes.
Chat, you gotta post ladders for Sally, and we already explained what ladders mean. But we need to see some ladders coming in for Sally.
Props.
Ladders.
Absolutely. Sally, thank you so much.
Thank you
for coming on the show and for it is rare to see a guest preempt their own questions like that, where it's like I don't know. You should see the doc after this. It's like you knew what the next question was going to be every time. You brought it up before, we were locked in. We were locked in.
I've been doing this shit a long time. No, maybe. Do I think about myself in the third person? Yes, I do. No, I don't really. No, I don't. But it'd be funny. Yeah. No. Well, thank you. No, it's been really, really fun, and I dare I say it's been a secret dream of mine to be a guest on Folkwise, to be cool enough. A guest on Folkwise, to have the cool kids think that I'm worth talking to.
Oh my God.
The cool kids?
Tell anybody who thinks that to send us a message. Literally. Okay, that's so sweet.
Well, if
we are like the coolest of the nerd lunch tables, I guess.
Mm-hmm. The what?
I guess.
Listen, we're all just a bunch of nerds, right?
Yeah.
We appreciate that in each other. And I love my folk.
Yeah.
I love my lifters. I love being at the very nexus of folklore and weightlifting.
That's where I want to be.
That should be the t-shirt.
That t-shirt is the nexus of folklore and weightlifting. That's for your gym. Yeah,
true.
It's just Team Sally.
True. Claps.
Yeah, this is the image. Hell yeah.
It's the community right here for me, folks. It's it's a good time.
I freaking love it. Yeah,
thank you all. And thanks for if for those of you who hang out, sacrifice things to the winds. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I honestly I'm honored to be a guest, and I hope this has been fun. And happy to, I just gotta and of course, and thanks for letting me chat so much. And let's just have a moment to say I'm honored to be in the same space as so many of these 4-hour club people, and probably most especially Mickey Weems. Let's just do a little shout out to Mickey.
Hell yeah, Mickey.
And
man, his episode really hit different. He is a person and hit different. Yeah.
Oh yeah, as a person he hit different. Yeah, absolutely. So
awesome.
I invited him to to haunt me at any opportunity, and
hell yeah,
I always will.
You know, that's like our only playlist that didn't get DMCA'd.
That's true. Yeah, we were talking about playlists before. Yeah, that's the only one. Maybe it's because it was so classic.
Yeah.
Or something like
Mickey knows.
Yeah, Mickey knows what's up.
From beyond, he still knows.
Yeah. Amazing.
Quilts have had meaning on many levels. Making quilts helped me to get a sense of my own space, sense of finding my way, sense of really working my way out of the labyrinth.